Abusia ya makwaba sonkoso eba POG Media ene de mekọ highway ne so highway ne de ensem bebre wo so a yenso ya Japan se ye be me ya bedwafo no ahu de ekọ ene de eba na dan na ekọ so ewo highway ne so eye Samuel Okuzatu Ablakwa ena ede ensem bebre aba betudu a enye asem keto akra na ensem ben ena Okuzatu Ablakwa ede tudwa eye Anti-LGBTQ bill a Parliament apasi a etwase na Nadankwa Akuffo sign na chese Ghana ye clear say omaiwe enye trumu emai no na Nadankwa Akuffo kire say ono no hwe kire say say o sign all because of say Ghana ye sign sa bill na IMF sika ne de emma echna na we ena Okuzatu Ablakwa ese ono ankasa elidi Ghana youth no na omo aye big demonstration against Nana Akuffo ne government na enye asem keto akra na ya anye demonstration no enti asa na Nadankwa Akuffo na se pa se odi pen ebesi pipa so se o sign ne signature ama Ghana ya clear say ye ndi trumu no enye NC ene NC nti no or say ono ankasa eji idim na je say wa yes a demonstration na enye demonstration keto I be pese ya be me abidwafo no be me akona yakwa akoti ensem a ono ede atoda na asa na ebeko no wo ensem kan bi afa hye ye comment section like share ma afoforo nso no ensa entumi nka bi aha eye political talk show a ye Jumadi na ye no update bia no ye de beto ama obi a ensa etumi akabi madam ase
ano almost china no mo be commission china be say commission na betimi abaso wana ono abo Samuel Okuzatu Ablakwa makwaba
Mugabe medase
apomuti say
you
looking good be I fine
so are you Nyamiadom
madam ne mafra say
Nyamiadom
fantastic nyamiase very well
I hope so say ebusiafo ho
ebusia ho ye koye konkakra bibia boko say ahoden aba very well. Parliament is saying
wow name Yagodo your boy Jima
good
led by indefatigable leader the Honorable Dr. Akuffo.
Fantastic.
Very united, very, very committed to the cause. Very confident. On the 7th of December, 2024, this year, you've been moving from a hung parliament to a comfortable majority. I'm a president. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama were to me Anya the needed parliamentary majority to execute his vision, his mandate for our country. Carrying the hopes and aspirations of the Ghanaian people.
China Ghana 67 years.
Minia 6 March 1957. In St0rms, the founder of our country, was Surgical Dr. Akroma. Me assure say he's turning in his grave at this moment. In St0rms, say this independence will mark a new dawn. Said the independence of Ghana will be meaningless unless it is linked to the total liberation of the African continent. Say a new personality has emerged, and that the black man will show the world that we are capable of managing our own affairs. So me share the course when there Parliament yenyana nipa bakukra, even a single MP could not muster the courage, because Speaker Bisa said, is there any MP who is opposed to this anti-LGBTQ bill? Nipa bakukra, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Meaning say later on, their new majority leader tried all kinds of tricks and theatrics and shenanigans to delay the bill, but anyeye to the extent say they didn't have the courage to oppose this. Ebanesen, as I say, such a defining piece of legislation, protecting your culture, your values, your traditions. It stands for the principles that all of us have stood up for decades, for centuries, which is biblical, our Quran, our African traditions. That is who we are, your identity. Our entire existence depends on this piece of legislation. Because Yanshiya, dear, every amanone eba, this alien culture, say Bemani Bema betumiada, trumu, Obani Oba betumiada, lesbianism, sex change, transgender. Ushe, on my way, a woman, malaria cry, you to me and solve here. Cholera, typhoid, polio. She nipa ewu wakolebu, ye renal unit, dialysis, you solve problems when you na. Mose, mo pese, ye ma kwine, Emma, and I don't feel like a man. I want to be a woman. And I'm going to change my sex. Inti yenyina ya pass this piece of legislation. President instead say ube boy abaso say Speaker of Parliament nemo MPs mo ya dear.
Say wabruni adafo be boma baso.
Wa kwa kojina diplomat nim assure mu say Ghana will not depart from our human rights. I mean, how does he define human rights? How does he define human rights?
Consent.
Ente or say Obia Supreme Court. Meanwhile, me and Metiha answer no best signing e-levy. Many the Honorable Haruna Idrisu and the Honorable Mahama Yariga. You call Supreme Court. Hoping to arrest the process. Our Ghana haya say e-levy no na omu need the numbers. Based on the Abdullahi case. Supreme Court na a rule say Yek NDC MPs, yeka say your rejected budget no. At that time, now you're 137. We were not 138. Until yen to me say your rejected budget no. Until that exercise is a nullity. That's what the Supreme Court said. Until based on that principle no, you who say MPP for a 136. Sadano no mu need 2 MPs. Okay. And yes, strategically based on the Supreme Court decision, yes stage walk out. And you call Supreme Court. Say, Supreme Court, stand by your own decision. You have to be principled. It is a NIPA 137 and to me take a decision because you say we don't meet the quorum. In the case of the NDC, how can an inferior number of 136
meet
quorum of 138 and take a decision, say you're passing levy?
And I was signing.
And you court. Yet, President Akuffo went ahead in pomp and circumstance, flagrant violation of your sensibilities, which was a matter Ghana for Dudrona, including his own party members. Say, Bawumia Kase Obe repealing e-levy. And they are all hailing him. Where was Bawumia the meet when the driver called that meeting to sign?
The brain behind, drafting the...
Inti Ebanesena. Yeah, passing e-levy. Yeah, call Supreme Court. And this is not, say, we are all looking for Masuma research assistance or Munko Supreme Court. We are looking for who that so-called concerned citizen is.
Is it Richard Sky?
Richard Sky has been confirmed.
Yes, he confirmed.
Ah, okay.
And they are 1 p.m.
Oh, okay. I wish you say, I don't think say this it was Richard Sky now or Nasem, unless the whole thing was contrived. Because Okasa and Najo, the diplomatic program was yesterday. It will be a file and there. How did he know? Is it some conspiracy? How did he know? So, I mean, it is clear to me, sir, President Akuffo is succumbing to pressure, Sikanti.
Magic.
Sikanti. And I'm asking, sir, Sikadudu Beng. Ena, more valuable than your values as a people. In any case, loans. The people are not doing us any favors. So 3.8 billion now finance ministry are listed. I've looked at their memo, the advice to the president. Your loans. You bet you. Say yen in our lifetime. Yen kola beba betia.
Generations.
They are not doing us any favor, and you pay with interest. Into loans which we will pay back. So you are willing to sacrifice generations upon generations, the future of citizens, people who voted for you and our identity. In any case, Minia, I'm ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee. And all these diplomats, they know my position on these matters.
Good.
And I tell them in the face, look, they are talking about human rights. The biggest human right violation I to say in the world, the slaughter, the massacre of the Palestinians in Gaza.
Yeah.
Say more than 32,000 people have been slaughtered, killed. It's a genocide. Genocide. They are using weapons and finances from these countries. They say they are even so embarrassed because on a daily basis there are demonstrations in America, in Britain, in France. And they say those Western leaders are now making a U-turn. They have eggs on their faces. If there's say you're sorry. Now you stop it. This Netanyahu in America, in Britain, in France. And to say those Western leaders are now. If there's any threat to human rights in the world today, I say you're sorry. Now you stop it. This Netanyahu genocide. What is going on in Palestine? Why are they not going there to stand up to Netanyahu? And the Israelis, if they are focused in the world, say entrenching human rights, they want to fight for human rights. Look, their own country, the biggest human rights issue. There is hardly a week without gun violence.
Yeah. Recently, last week, yeah. Part of London.
And Ghana ni Canada, innocent Ghanaians, yes, all over the place. Yes. Ghana for with knives, with guns, and then innocent children, their own citizens. And Omo really committed about human rights. Why are they not addressing gun control in their country?
Fantastic.
This cannot be about a human rights fight. Omo who say the current Ghanaian leadership is weak, is complicit. Indiana, they feel that they can threaten us, they can harass us, intimidate us, meddle in our domestic politics, which is not done by international convention. If a sovereign country is deciding, said, this is the law we want to pass, their parliament, bipartisan, Obia, nobody had the courage to openly vote against this bill. How dare you? How dare you issue threats and even dictate to a president, Obama, the president, because they know, say, you're complicit. They know he's weak. They know he doesn't have balls.
Was it declare anti-LGBTQ plus bill null and void, British Sky to Supreme Court?
Look, the Akroma were my way, mono. It's a clear case of this country returning to the era of subjugation, the era of colonialism, the era of white dominance, foreign control, because of, you see, peanuts, loans, anka a grant cry, even that, there is no amount over $1 trillion. I'm concerned about the future of my children, the future of this country.
We see Mali, we see Niger, and see.
Look, in any case, on this same continent, Sikana Ghana leaders, Musro, and they are tossing you around like puppets. Look at how Kamala Harris came here and ordered our president about somebody who can be her father because of some Obayakra, was it $100,000 be for Accra initiative? Said they are going to help them to fight terrorists. As we speak, Minia, it is important to acknowledge, sir. Uko Kenya, they have even stricter laws. Uko Zambia, stricter laws. You know, say all these countries are under the IMF program.
Okay.
And yet, the IMF, the Americans, the British, the French, they dare not. Because Omunim say, those countries, they are leaders. I added them. They are strong. They will quickly tell you, say, take your money and walk away. Like Uganda did. Argentina, Saudi Arabia. Unim Saudi Arabia. People are complaining about our laws, say our laws are harsh. Yaka say maximum 5 years. Unim the Yachi was Saudi Arabia. What they do? First, you will be lashed publicly. After which you will be hanged. And yet, who call that part of the world? Ubianim, Saudi Arabia. They are the closest friends of the United States of America. Omoka brutal. They are tight. In Framankra and Fomo. In that region, Ubianim, who are a student of geopolitics. I mean, look, Iranians who are even a bit liberal, no Americans and the Americans love the Saudi Arabians. Biden alcohol on a number of occasions. Wakwako renew. Even when people thought, sir, after Saudi was implicated in the murder of the journalist Khashoggi.
Okay.
Biden or campaigning or said this the Saudi Arabia is not the best, that they have to be dealt with. The international community must sanction them. Obey a president who abandoned he's been listed as the first betrayer of the American people. He no longer talks about justice for Khashoggi, the journalist who was killed in Turkey by Saudi spies. What is happening here? Where every Western leader thinks that they can dictate to us. And it is all because of the weakness. And look, Sikana as they say, Sikana mba.
So what is it? Ghana beyond aid?
Sikana mba. Economy way back collapsed. Minia, we will go into this program. I'll be pointing out to you. Monies that have been blown, wasted. And your president, how many years was I not complaining about his chartered travels? 20,000 euros an hour.
You said it.
The Western leaders who today are dictating to him, they don't do that. Americans are using their Air Force One, which they bought in 1991. Who they buy recently, 2010. Fresh condition. We see, the latest ultra luxury. 20,000 euros. Because when this economy crashed, he spent over 100 million on those travels.
What?
Yes. Analysis are over 100 million new Ghana cities.
This is serious.
And this is a man saying, without IMF money, this economy will crash. Endra Eden Ayante. Photocopy of
What's it?
Past questions. Pasco. 68 million cedis. On my way, on my nisika. Loan inti. Some Fianga diplomats who come and be threatening us.
Fianga diplomats?
Yeah. Will come and be threatening us. Come and be threatening. How dare they? We are a sovereign country. Talk to all of our parliament. The parliament of the people are passing law. Look, I feel so offended. Inti ejuma ni nyina ya no, so they think that what? Na ye ni bibia ye. Chef they see we were building houses at the same time as I said Uba Parliament. You're shuttling and all of that at the risk of your life. Then you treat our legislation this way, and our president is following you people. What do you take us for? And apart from the 68 million, $12 million on a Japa, and no cry yet dika $2 million. When we thought that a Japano ya stopping sikabia enkodemo, not knowing we were wrong. $12 million. Yebisa MIF chief executive or CEO and offices and marketing and we were planning to list on the London Stock Exchange. Ebe! You don't know the value of money? $12 million. Up to now, Yabisa say office when amoko renti, they can't tell us. You pay address, no? So nema mo kanyina and ubi bisa say. Enti on mine when ya ohia mine. President untumi impeach na. Oh. What kind of constitution now? We have a hurdle. To succeed in an impeachment, you need 2/3 of the House of MPs. Unfortunately, you need 2/3. Ubekai recently, you indicted Kenoforiata. You did 2 vote. You know more muka say Kenoforiata say omo party or say o mine. Enti omonko. Omuye U10. Shameless U10. Enti yanya 2/3. Kenoforiata continued with his distraction.
You're surprised that Richard Sky is behind this suit in the Supreme Court?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Look, people are not novices in this country. We are not naive. We know what is going on. We know those who are behind these things. We know what is happening. We are not naive. And this is my prediction. Take it or leave it. Case way, Supreme Court and Rashid to adjudicate. A better horse till President Akuffo finishes his term. That is the strategy. Take it from me. You will call me January next year to give me my stone. Oh, Minia. Yeah, E-levy case, so is that not the same thing they are doing?
Yeah, because
my lawyers oh, please, when is the next year? When is cold case? It's become so cold like ice. I'm fresh case, no. Like ice. Meanwhile, Abdullah Diano, rapid on the budget. Say you rejected budget. Within 6 weeks. They've done hearing, Mama judgment. Look, we are not kids in this country. You just see what will happen. Because pressure, no. And look.
So do you know what's a Ghana for you, Honorable?
As I say,
what's you demonstrating?
You're demonstrating
on the street.
And President, he shouldn't think he can hide at the Supreme Court. What kind of constitution now? Parliament or other opportunities.
Okay.
To revisit this matter. Yeah. To take him on.
Okay.
Yes.
Educate us, Honorable.
When a president refuses to sign a bill, there are processes. It will go to Council of State. It has to come back and take a vote. We can decide, say, we will override the president's recklessness. You need more than 2/3 though, but we will do it. Because yes, starting MP Bia and sorry Anka say I am opposed. Nobody should think that we are at the end of the road. We are not.
Fantastic. Honorable, Ebimo Kase on this issue. John Mahama were making his stance clear to Ghanaians, but Ebisi ne Bawumia Kasai.
A legitimate concern. Meso Maka, our Parliament. Maka says so far no. The silence of the MPP's flag bearer is deafening and unacceptable. Yechiwo not too long ago, that leaked tape, and our Kase, unknown the savior of Muslims, he has come to pursue a Muslim agenda as candidate, which I thought was totally needless. We are Muslim or Christian. I don't believe in those unnecessary divisions. We are all human beings, one people under God. Into this cheap politics of identity, no? it's done by people who don't have a message, who don't have a vision. But Nipa ya chill say you are portraying yourself, say you have the interests of Muslims at heart more than anybody. Meanwhile, we all know say President Mahama has a superior record when it comes to Muslim interests. If you look at the NDC, holidays Nina Muslims enjoy. It was the NDC's, policy interventions and laws that we promoted. If you look at even Hajj, organizing Hajj in dignity. Yen na Yakreti Hajj village. Yen na for the first time Muslims were able to travel from Tamale direct to Mecca. Never happened in this country. It is not about cheap talk. It's not about cheap talk. It's about what you do. The people want action. Your track record. Inti Abanisana who claim say you are more Muslim than anybody. How come you are silent on this matter? Inti opese or please foreign diplomats. He wants to be a puppet to the West. Oh, how I miss great leaders of this country. Okay, Professor Mills, my godfather. How he stood up to David Cameron at the time and told him in the face that how dare you? You dare not. We are a sovereign country. Not under my watch. Back off. If it's about aid, keep your money. Professor Mills.
Yeah, he said it.
He said it.
Yeah.
He said, keep your money. At that time, we were back fresh. The economy was not good. Akuffo was economy. But he knew he was going to be incorruptible. He knew, say, the little taxes. One charter, 20,000 euros an hour jet. One ko two amona for $58 million. One ko ye Pasco photocopies for 68 million cedis. One ko ye Japan $12 million. At least sika in Kolabenye did. Sika yedebe si akwan, yedebe ye hospitals, yedebe to incubators there, yebenye bi. But it is because of bad leadership, bad choices. Bawumia must speak. And I am glad said National Chief Imam were outlining the Muslim manifesto, what they want to see. The next phase is to demand of all the leaders, and I'm glad said the Catholic Bishop Conference and others, they've started.
Yeah.
All politicians must state. We have heard from President Mahama. Aka Diakano from the other parties. And Bawumia cannot keep hiding under the table, under the carpet, in holes. He must be smoked out. Inti SSO Kasa.
Very well. Almost someone could you talk about?
Ablakwa ayubia obo adwuma ewo NDC amanyoko ne mu papa na on the ade or say or organize Ghana youth na say ya big demonstration against Nanado Dankwa Akuffo ne Dr. Bawumia enye asem keto akora ebedwa yebeda abudwafo na say na say omkoti sa audio we edimai aha POG Media medamase.